Blimey O'Reilly. Hi guys, I'm Shelley and welcome to episode 12 of the Hormone Diaries. I've been at this a year. How is that possible? So almost a year ago, I sat in this place and moaned about my boobs because they hurt at the time, and decided to start this series called the Hormone Diaries, which is inspired by Hannah Witten, the lovely Hannah Witten here on YouTube, who has done a similar, well, the exact same thing really. She's done a series called the Hormone Diaries. I nicked it. I did want to talk about her just for a smidge. Give me a second, because she put up a video a little while ago about how she's been doing the Hormone Diaries for a long time and her series is changing and she's now asking for contributions, so she wants to learn more. She's realised that downstairs in the comments is where it all happens, and she learned so much about periods and other things that she didn't know about, and so she's asking for contributions so she can talk about other people's perspectives and other people's uteruses and what happens and so on and so forth. So I will leave a link down below to one, that video, and two, the website where she's asking for contributions. I have, of course, given her my 5 pence and told her about all my problems and the fact that she has inspired me to do this series, which I have now been doing for 12 months. Yes. Basically, I started it because, for those of you who don't know, I had severely, dangerously bad health for a while, and it meant that I dropped a substantial amount of weight, which meant that my periods disappeared. And as I came back to health and came back to weight, I wanted to document my experience with coming back to periods and coming back to womanhood and all the things that means inside your body. I'm very animated today. So I've been doing that for a year, but mainly I've been talking about issues that I have had, and then kind of talked about how I wasn't taught them in school. The series has mainly been about education and the lack of it. And I haven't really done a roundup of me. So, being the narcissistic person that I am, I thought I'd do that for the last episode, but technically it's not the last episode, but we'll get to that later. So as I said, a year ago, I was sat on this floor moaning that my boobs ached because they were huge, and that was the main issue of PMS and everything I was having at the time. My periods had just started, they were irregular, they were heavy and light and all over the place. Over the last year, they have sort of regulated themselves. They like to turn up a week early, out of nowhere sometimes. I have been using the app Clue. There are many other apps on the market, so go and find the one that works best for you if you want one. It guesses by when your period was last and how long it went on for and so on and so forth. When your next one is, when you're ovulating, it guesses everything for you. But mine has been off by a week now and again because my uterus just likes to turn up early sometimes. Yeah, that's annoying. But the rest have kind of regulated itself out. What I have found the main problems being actually isn't the period. For me, the biggest change coming back to having periods has been the emotional side of it. I don't know what happened in those 5 years that I didn't have periods, whether it's an age thing, because obviously now I'm in my young 30s. What do they call the lower side of 30s? The emotional side has been the worst part of the period. The pain I've gotten used to, I guess, because I live with chronic pain every day anyway, because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. The PMS, going down the track of PMDD and things like that, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, I can never remember it, which is just basically PMS times 100. That is the biggest thing that I am dealing with at the moment. The anxiety, the PMS, the emotional state that I go into, not just 1 week out of the month, but a pretty good throughout 2 or 3 of them. And I didn't have it before. I had PMS before, don't get me wrong. I would have a week where I wasn't happy. Before, when I was mid-20s, I didn't have this emotional roller coaster that I have now. I am sometimes suicidal. I have very, very high anxiety. I have a very strong, overwhelming urge to harm myself quite a lot of the time. So there's that. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to treat it even. I'm working on it. I take multiple vitamins and minerals to try and calm my brain out. I realise that antidepressants work for a lot of people. Personally, for me, I don't get on with them. I've never found one that's made me not have a million side effects or made me much worse. I've tried other forms of counselling and things like that to try and help me, but none of it has even touched it. But other than that, it's been a year and I am having regular periods now. So, well done, uterus. You came back from God knows what. And so because it's been a year, I suppose the series is up. But I kind of have other things I want to talk about. This whole series has turned into what we weren't taught at school. And there's so many more subjects to cover. I have already done an episode 13 for this because I've done a collab with a very good friend of mine talking about schools and what we were taught, and from the other point of view because he is male, and different genders and things like that. And so I am carrying on this series. I don't know if it will continue once a month. It will be sporadically on my channel because I think it's important to talk about this. I would like to do an episode on sexuality and disability, as I am disabled and I have a chronic illness, so I would like to explore that. Like Hannah Witten before me, she literally talked about this the other week and I was going to anyway, but now it sounds like I'm stealing her ideas again, which probably am, but here we go. If you would like to be part of this, if you would like to have a conversation, if there is a subject that I have not covered that you would like covered, that you would like to inform me on, or anything of that, please comment down below, get in touch, leave me a DM on any of my Instagram or Twitter or things like that. I will link them all down below. I would love to get other people's thoughts and feelings and even do a collab maybe. So hit me up down below if you would be interested in joining me in this series, because there are so many voices out there, there are so many different experiences that aren't talked about. But for now, I guess I just want to say thanks. Thanks for sticking with me through this series. Thanks for sticking with me as it continues. If you stay and continue to watch me ramble, I've said continue quite a lot of times. I'm very rambly today. I've really enjoyed sharing this with you guys and learning about everything. So thank you very much. And I will see you in a month for a very special collaboration. Bye. My name is Lucas, I am a spider. I want to sing you a wonderful song. And if you see me, please don't squish me. I want to be your friend. That's what your brain does when you've got a period. Ow. I shouldn't do that.